Simon Miller here from WhatCulture Wrestling with Kayla Becker.
Hi.
Kayla, how are we today?
I'm fantastic. Thanks
Good.
for asking.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's so nice to see people like yourself here. Because we've been very lucky to come to a few WrestleCons, and you see the new faces. You are one of these.
Yeah.
How has it been? Like you have freedom. You're out in the real world. How is it?
It is nice. I mean, I definitely miss like the hustle and bustle of working for WWE, but being able to explore what it is that I'm passionate about and want to do and create, it's been really nice.
And what is that? What is on your bucket list at the moment? I believe you just started a new podcast. Is that right?
I have a horror podcast called Killing Time with Kayla. It's taking a little break right now until the Halloween season starts back up,
sure.
but then launching a new one with my friend Vanessa called Milk and Honeys, where we're bringing on different celebrities and we're just talking about what it's like to live in Hollywood and be in the industry. So it's fun.
Because you're very, very good at teasing what the future holds without actually telling us. Has that come from being in WWE, or were you always in those kind of circles before you even entered the wrestling business?
What, you mean the circles like?
So with the WWE, obviously you get name value, you become a star, and then people reach out to you. But it kind of feels like you were doing that almost independently to what you were doing in WWE.
Before WWE, I was doing this independent stuff too.
Yeah.
I've had my own YouTube shows in the past, so I've been able to accumulate different friendships and relationships over the years. WWE was a huge part of that. Don't want to take anything away from that. I wouldn't be Kayla Braxton, who's now back Kayla Becker, but a lot of good connections that I've been able to hold on to.
Absolutely. And do you see your future in the wrestling business, or now because you are able to do whatever you want? Because I think you want to try and make it to movies as well, right? That's something you'd like to do.
Yeah, I mean, I did a movie. It's coming out this year, which is really exciting. So I am dabbling in the acting thing. I don't know if wrestling is in my future. I think it's one of those things that's going to be in the rearview mirror. Who knows? You know, when I left Triple H, the doors always open. So there's always a potential for a pop-up. But I don't think in the full-time capacity that I've been doing it will happen again.
I may have got my timelines wrong here, so you can say, no, you don't know what you're talking about, which I don't. They all know that anyway. But am I right in saying you were kind of in, I call it the old WWE, and now what we know is the new WWE. You were kind of in the middle of all of that.
Yeah.
Did you see a sort of relationship change or a working environment change when it was going down?
I mean, you know, with time, things just change. It's just how it is. And of course, we saw a big change in who's running the company. Not in any kind of negative way. It's just when new comes in, that just could potentially mean old goes out. So
What I mean by that is, again, from seeing what you're doing and talking to you right now, you're quite clearly a very outgoing, creative person. Do you think you'd actually be able to thrive better in the environment they have there now? I'm only going what other people tell me. What do I know? Nothing. But it sounds like before, not in a bad way, but more structured, whereas now more freeing, more creative. I don't know, just an idea.
Well, I think when I was there at WWE, there's only so much that I could do there. So I was doing the backstage interviews. I had the bump, which was amazing. Kickoff panels. But then it's like there's not much more you can do. So you kind of hit the ceiling for what I could do in WWE, unless I decided to lace up some boots and get in the ring, which was not happening. So I think now I can actually lean into what I am good at and use my skills and my talents to grow in a that way.
What happened to the bump? I really like the bump. It was a really nice, easy to watch show.
I left the show.
Is that what it was?
And the show died. So.
I mean, that is literally what happened. And you have to forgive me. It's one of those questions I'm sure you've been asked 1,000 times. Otherwise, the comments are like, I can't believe you didn't ask. You had a very, very fun relationship with Paul Heyman. And that was almost wonderful too, because it was never a proper story. It was just something for fans to watch out with. How did that blossom? Where did that come from?
That's all Paul. During the pandemic, when we were in the Thunderdome in Tampa, he and I were put on the Talking Smack post-show together. And at that time, we had never really worked together. We didn't know each other very well. I immediately was like, who the hell is this big, loud man taking over my talk show? But then over time, we just developed this relationship, and I grew to love him and learn from him. And then because of our chemistry on that show, he's the one who pulled me into the storyline of the Bloodline, which of course is the biggest story going in WWE. So I was very fortunate, and I have Paul to thank for all of that.
And I think you have a genuinely hard job with what you did, because obviously you're interviewing wrestlers, and even though it's all scripted and stuff, I imagine they must surprise, especially Paul Heyman. He must have thrown stuff at you that no one had told you was coming. So you have to think on your feet quite fast, right?
If I was given a script to do with whatever to do with Paul Heyman, I crumpled it up and threw it away, because I knew he was not going by the script. He would just lean into me, like, we're going live in 5, 4, just trust me. I'm like, what? But every time it was gold.
Did anybody else do that? Was anyone else who's like a serial non-scripter?
LA Knight liked to go off script. He kind of screwed me a little bit toward the end of my time in WWE. The fans know exactly what segment that was. But they're just so good on the mic. They're keeping me on my toes and making me better. So.
And were you allowed to respond to that, or did you have to stick to what you were told to do?
By the time, like, at that point, I've been around for so long, the writers, they'd be okay if I went off script too. But I also, like, we were told it's not about us, so I didn't want to take any shine away from the talent. So.
I'm going to ask you about this, and you can say no comment because I get it. But I'm an old school wrestling fan and a new school one. But I mean, I love what Mean Gene Okerlund used to do. Yeah. He had no script whatsoever. And I actually think, just my opinion, WWE should give the people in your position more free reign, because then it does feel like you would see on a sports show or whatever, or an interview.
I mean, I agree. I just think, I mean, especially during the Vince era, it was very much like, don't react, don't smile, don't take away any of the attention from the wrestler because you're just a glorified mic stand.
That's not true.
It got better as after he left. Triple H was really good about, you know, giving us a little bit more freedom, but I get it. It's a TV show. You only have a lot of time. It's live television. They can't have us going all Mean Gene and just taking over the entire segment. So I understand why they do the things that way.
No, I get it too, because again, otherwise people could go off. Yeah. I just always thought, quite clearly, there were sparks there. Yeah. And it's so sad when you probably have a thought or a creative vision and you know I can't do it. Was the height thing true too? That you had to stand like, I mean, I don't know.
I'm really short. I'm in heels right now. Okay. I'm only 4'11", so typically I was fine, but I couldn't wear heels backstage. So, yeah. See? Some of the wrestlers aren't as big as you think they are. We just make them look that way.
No, I know that. Listen, so I'm a wrestler myself, and I don't want to be that guy, but sometimes when you're getting changed, you see a lot of lifts in boots. Yeah. I'll level with you, Kayla. Maybe there's lifts in my boots when I wrestle too. I go from this height till I'm 6'3". How does it happen? I don't know. Absolutely. So listen, where can people find you to interact with you or talk to you, wherever it may be?
Yeah, listen, my social media is still at Kayla Becker on Instagram and Twitter. TikTok, follow Milk and Honeys, and yeah, we'll see what happens next. More to come.
There we go. Kayla Becker, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe, check out all the other Vegas content. See you soon.